All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started in a moment here. This is the state expedited accusations calendar in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams. At today's calendar, we will set bonds for misdemeanor offenses for those cases that have already been formally accused and bound over to the state court, even though the individuals have only been recently arrested. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding today. When I ask if you understand your rights, those are the rights to which I am referring. As you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet. It's being live streamed and recorded. That means any member of the public can watch this proceeding. When I ask about if you understand your rights, I'm also asking if you understand how I'm conducting the hearing as well. Have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to interview their clients?
I'm sorry, Judge. Were you speaking to me?
No, I was
Oh,
asking if the have the attorneys interviewed their clients?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Is it and what is my reset date?
it is April the 9th.
All right, those who receive a signature bond, whether through pretrial or the jail, will be reset for the notice. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond today will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on April the 9th, whereby aspects of your case, including contact and bond, can be revisited. Okay, who do we have first?
First, we have position number 14, Mr. Paz.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, position 14. All right, Mr. Paz, your case is 24 CR 001136J. You're charged with obstruction. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Can I have that history, Mr. Howard?
28 total. Last arrest was March 6th, shoplifting and obstruction. That's in Superior Court. On probation for robbery by sudden snatch. And that time's out in 2027. That's it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pierre Thomas, please
Oh, and he
proceed.
out on pretrial too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, for
Okay.
that felony.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pierre
Good,
Thomas, please
good
proceed.
afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
I'm orienting my computer. I thought it was oriented. Brief facts of the case is that the law enforcement responded to 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue about a person kicking a vehicle as they stopped by or near the intersection. The officer located the defendant matching the description of the individual. The officer followed the defendant in his patrol vehicle and waited for backup to arrive. The officer gave the defendant several commands to stop, to which he refused to do so. The defendant then began to run, at which point the officer exited his patrol vehicle and pursued the defendant on foot. The officer was eventually able to corner the defendant against the fence. After an attempted leg sweep of the defendant, the officer pulled out his taser in order to get him to the ground, of which he refused to do so. The defendant had on multiple layers of clothing, so the officers switched to OC spray and sprayed a small amount in his face. He continued to refuse to comply with the commands and tried to jump the fence, of which the officer pulled the defendant by his belt, at which point the defendant was sprayed once more. The defendant then broke free and was eventually detained by other units that responded to the officer's backup call. Your Honor, I think the history, it speaks for itself. He was already granted a signature bond through the pretrial services and could not adhere to that. The recommendation from the state is $1,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Nothing further from the state.
All right. And is that Miss Kim there?
Yes.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, Mr. Potts is 38 years old. She was born and raised here in
39.
Georgia, 39 years old, and he has been here in Georgia all his life. Right now, he's going through a very challenging time financially. He has been residentially challenged, and he also does not have any employment as of now. And we would like to request for a signature on bond, even through pretrial service, even though it may be level 3, he has nobody who can help him out with a bond. Thank you.
Okay, and pretrial has revoked that bond, Mr. Howard, the felony bond?
Yes,
Okay, what was the amount of that? Do you
it's a
know?
felony. You don't have a bond amount.
Oh, I don't have an amount. Okay,
Uh-uh.
my apologies. All right, I am gonna give him a signature bond through pretrial level 3. He is to, there won't be any other requirements because of the charge other than to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. The amount of that signature bond through pretrial will be $5,000. Is there anything
You don't
additional?
want to send that through the jail? Okay. I
I
mean, he's not
don't.
going anywhere, but I'm just saying. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Unless there's some reason you can't take him. Is there a reason you can't take him at pretrial?
He's out on pretrial, so the felony getting revoked. So
That's true.
yeah,
Okay, understood.
he'll be
It'll
back
be
in SAP before he get out on the felony charge.
right. Well, Ms. Kim, are you sure that you want your client to get a signature bond then? Because he's not gonna get any credit for the time he's sitting there for that charge.
I think
So I think perhaps we should give him a surety bond and let it be revisited at SAP since he's being held.
I would-
I'm gonna defer to you. I don't have a problem giving him an SOB, but since he's gonna sit there, I think the issue is you want him to get the time for that charge, correct?
correct. However, if he gets another conviction, it's not really good for him either for the long run. So we would like to still have.
I don't know who president is against America or
Okay,
China.
okay, you, sir, let your attorney speak, speak, oh, courtroom 2 is dark. I don't know if Miss Kim is gonna rejoin us. Okay, so Miss Kim, you understand my position? If he's sitting there on the felony hold, you still want him to have the SOB through the jail? You're muted.
Yes,
No
Your
white
Honor.
people.
Yes, Your
Sir,
Honor.
you need to be quiet for 1 second so I can hear your attorney.
All
Miss
right.
Kim, please.
I can tell you. I'm sure y'all better tell you.
You know what? I can change this whole thing if you keep going. Miss Kim?
You said I ain't even getting out, Your Honor. You said I ain't even getting out. You said it yourself, man. You're wasting my time doing that, man.
So you gonna waste mine too. Miss Kim, your position?
Is SOB through jail?
Okay. So as long as he understands he gets no credit for that time, defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail with the requirement fees to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. This case is not holding you in the Fulton County Jail. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, y'all.
All right, who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 19, Mr. Withers.
All right, Mr. Woodard, good afternoon. I'm sorry, Mr. Witter. Okay, your case is 24 CR 0013448C. You're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yeah, man, and Miss Williams, I stay at this place with my girl.
I don't want you to tell me too much yet. Why don't you tell your attorney those facts, okay?
Yeah, man.
Okay, and she's gonna tell me everything I need to know, okay? I don't want you have a right to remain silent. You may think you're telling me something really good and important, and you may end up saying something that will be used against you, and I don't want that to happen, okay?
No, I'm trying to go home. I got a baby on the way.
Okay, Miss Kim is gonna make me aware of all those pertinent facts. I know she is, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Miss
27,
Mr. Howard, please proceed.
27 total. Last arrest was this year for FTA. He was dismissed. Has a trespass arrest from this year, one from 2023, 2021 ag assault conviction, 2021 possession of a Schedule 1, 2021 and 2019 probation, 2019, 2018 theft by receiving, and 2014 robbery, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, possession of a knife during the conviction.
Okay.
Your Honor,
All
briefly, the case is that on March 21st, 2024, the officer responded to a trespasser call at the listed location, that being 355 Peachtree Street, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia, here in Fulton County, Georgia. The officer met with security guard Demetria Green, who was the reporting party. Upon arrival, Ms. Green stated that the defendant was on the property yet again, who was given a criminal trespass warning by that exact same officer on March 14th, 2024. Your Honor, I think the history kind of speaks for itself. So the request for this from the state is a $500 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a stay away from that incident location, which is listed as the Imperial Hotel. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Peters is 31 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He is proud father of 7 minor children, starting from 3, and Your Honor, and he is actually gainfully employed, even though it is not a whole lot of work. However, he does want to make a living to support his children. And Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail for this criminal trespass. He does reside with his mother, and it seems like he has an address and contact information. So we feel comfortable to just recommend him for a signature on bond through jail.
Okay, he just informed me that he allegedly lives at that location that they're asking him to stay away from, Ms. Kim. Is that correct? Or does he live with his mother?
He resides with his mother.
Okay, so if I issue this, he can't go back to that location. Does your client understand that? Because he just told me he thinks he lives there.
No, I don't, no, I'm going with my mother.
Don't say anything. Talk to your
I'm
attorney.
sorry,
Does he
man.
understand? I'm just trying to protect you, okay? Please don't say anything.
Yeah, I ain't going back. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, defendant is gonna receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to stay away from that location and its entirety, have no alcohol, no drugs, or no weapons. Sir, if you return back to there, you're gonna end up right back here talking to me again.
I'm not gonna be there, man.
Do not do it. Please do not, okay?
Call me Dominique Green.
Okay, best of luck to you. Have a good afternoon, all right?
Thank you very much.
Go Pirates. Come on.
All right, can we do the interpreter case? I saw Ms. Chancey on the line. Is that possible? Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's
That's Mr.
Miss, and who represents the gentleman who needs, you do, Miss Kim? And did you need to, Miss Chancey's assistance to interview, or you've already done that?
I actually need to make a phone call to his wife, Tenla Cortez, and she's the one who only speaks Spanish, because I need to verify whether how she feels about it. We were not able to contact her.
How is Miss Chancey gonna help you do that, though? She's on Zoom
Oh, I think
and,
three-way call. However, my client does not need to have a Spanish interpreter for
okay, the victim will need the interpreter.
he wants
Okay, understood.
for the process of whole thing, so he can understand.
Okay, so you're gonna give Miss Chancey a call?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, Miss Chancey, let me go ahead and swear you in before you make that 3-way call, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Chancey, please state your name for the record.
My name is Adriana Chancey.
All right, Miss Chancey, do you swear and affirm that today you will make an accurate translation from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your skills, your knowledge, and your ability?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Chancey. All right,
I
Miss
can
Kim.
call if you want me to, or
Yes, that would be good.
Can you put the phone numbers on your
I will
chat?
get from victim advocate or ASG, the phone number of Tenla Cortez. Do you have it?
The victim is on the call under Carol
awesome.
Barrows.
Okay, can we,
Yeah,
how are we
you can
gonna do
just
that?
work
Miss
out.
Kim, do you have your own device so that we can put you in a breakout and keep going with court?
Sure.
With Miss Chancey, could you use your phone?
I can use my laptop.
Okay, so once Miss Kim logs on, Miss Strong, will you put them in the breakout? In the meantime, can we take Miss Dorfman's case?
Who is this girl?
She represents Marcel Benoit.
Oh,
Pronounce it for me to say it.
his bond has been posted. He paid his bond.
Oh, he's made bond, so he's not present, Miss Dorfman. Were you aware that your client has bonded out?
Yes.
You're muted, Miss Dorfman. We can't hear you.
I was going to say, I said, thank you very much. I did not know that. And please be safe, everybody, and have a great weekend.
You too. Take care. Have a
All right,
good
take
one.
care. Bye-bye.
All right. So position 2 is bonded out. Okay.
We can go in position number 7, Mrs. Helena.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 001361F. You're charged with criminal trespass and possession. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, but I don't know about.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Howard.
It's fifth arrest, resident of Phoenix, Arizona, 2023, possession of drug-related objects. Got an open shoplifting in state court. Also open possession of drug-related objects, pedestrian in the roadway. And another open case for alcohol consumption. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Shauna, good afternoon. In this case,
Good
law
afternoon.
enforcement was dispatched to the Academy of Medicine located at 875 West Peachtree. The defendant had been given a criminal trespass from my understanding earlier that day. Search incident to arrest revealed that she had a crack pipe on her. The state's just asking for a signature bond through the jail, a stay away from that incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. Any objection to that, Mr. Cook? I'm inclined to grant that. And by the information before me.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through the jail, $3,000 on each count. She is to stay away from the Academy of Medicine on West Peachtree and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing, Your Honor.
My apologies. Who's this?
All right.
Position 7.
This was
Thank you.
All right.
all right.
Next, we'll go in position number 10, Ms. Jones.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jones, your case is 24 CR 001339Y. You're charged with criminal trespass, obstruction, and escape. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
14 total. Got an open case out of Cherokee County for shoplifting. Open case out of Cobb, shoplifting. Open felony out of Fulton for theft by receiving. Open case for criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor, criminal damage to property, 2nd degree out of Fulton. On probation out of Hall County for shoplifting. Last arrest was on the 13th of this month for shoplifting. A couple of FTAs from 2021 and a probation hold out of Cobb County. Out of Hall County, I'm sorry.
Okay. Please proceed, Mr. Pierre Thomas.
All right, I'm trying to get through these facts fast, Your Honor. On February 28, 2024, the officer responded to I-20 West at Longhorn to assist multiple subjects that were detained after the vehicle fled from police. The rear passenger, the defendant, had 2 outstanding warrants from Hall County. All occupants had to get medically clear because the vehicle itself was in a crash. While the defendant was in custody, the officer began noticing a pattern of her requesting to use the bathroom. She was transported to Grady Hospital, and she immediately began to ask to use the bathroom, which was thought to be strange because she needed to use the bathroom prior to leaving police headquarters. The defendant once again was allowed to use the bathroom. A few minutes after being placed in the waiting area, the defendant again asked the nurse to use the restroom. The defendant was in the restroom, and officers began to hear banging, or the officer began to hear a banging sound as if objects were being moved around. The sound continued. The officer asked the female nurse to assist with checking on the defendant. At this time, the officer heard a loud crash sound coming from the bathroom. Once the entry was made into the bathroom, they observed damage to the tiles. The ceiling had 2 open spaces that were damaged. The defendant's pants were covered in dust and debris and ceiling tiles. Based on the observation, it was believed that the arrestee managed to climb onto the ceiling tiles where she was moving across the ceiling, and mounts, at which point collapsed due to the excessive weight from the defendant. It was apparent that the defendant attempted to escape but was unsuccessful. The defendant became combative and began yelling and refusing to comply with lawful orders. The defendant was restrained by the officer and Grady security because she began trying to kick the officer. While she was being combative, she kept stating that she would intentionally lie about her injuries so that the hospital staff would keep her long and it would prolong her stay. She stated multiple times that she would not allow the law enforcement officer to take her from the hospital to the jail and that she would attempt to escape again. The damage to the property was ultimately $150. Your Honor, I do believe that pretrial spoke of several open cases, so I don't believe that she's a good candidate for a surety bond. Given that, Your Honor, the request from the state is a $1,500 surety bond, a no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and the breakdown is $500 on each charge. Nothing further to add from the state.
All right, Mr. Ty, please proceed. You're muted.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 24 years old. She has lived in Georgia all her life. She graduated from Frederick Douglass High School, and as you heard, she was arrested on March 13th. She has been in custody since then, but before that, she was gainfully employed at Comso and believes that she still has her job as a sales associate there. She was working there for almost a year, Your Honor. She does deny the allegations and states that she was in a traumatic car accident. As you heard in the warrant, it said that she was a rear seat passenger in a vehicle that was fleeing from the police. She states that all the tires were flat. They made it onto the highway. The driver hit into walls several times. So as far as she doesn't have a good recollection of what happened when she was in the hospital, and she does deny the allegations. She states that she was there for hours and hours, having scans of her head, scans of her chest, having her legs checked for injuries. The airbags deployed in the accident, and she did go unconscious. Your Honor, she does deny the allegations here. She's charged with the criminal trespass damage to property for the $150 of damage to the tiles, the obstruction, and the I guess the attempted escape charge. She does deny those allegations. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. She does have some history, Your Honor, but it's all, from what I saw, shoplifting and nothing violent. She's not a danger to the community. She's already been in custody since March 13th. She does need to get back to her job, which hopefully she still has. And I think that she can't afford a bond at this point. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay. Defendant's going to receive a $9,000 signature bond through the jail, $3,000 on each count. Additionally, she's to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. And she's not to return to that location if she's not receiving medical services. The stay away would have been Grady, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if
She
she's not
wasn't
receiving
there
medical
voluntarily.
services,
I just want to put on the record, she wasn't there voluntarily. That's why the state.
well, I understand, but we're still gonna have you not hanging out unless you need to
Okay.
be there for medical services. All right, anything additional, Mr. Ty or Mr. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, ma'am.
Next, we have position number 20, is Whitlock.
Phone locks. I'm sorry, Mr. Whitlock, I'm coming.
It's Liz.
Okay. Oh, it's Miss Whitlock. I apologize, Miss Whitlock. Your case is 24 CR 001347C. You're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights, Miss Whitlock?
I'm sorry.
Do you understand your rights?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Your Honor. This is Jay's case. I don't know if she's right here.
Oh, she's on.
She's right on the line.
She's on the phone still, though. Is she?
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, this is a co-defendant case as well with Demontravius Soho,
Yes.
or cross-defendant, not co-defendant, sorry.
Cross or okay, cross.
My apologies.
Okay. So both parties were arrested. Okay. Mr. Howard?
Who we doing Whitlock first?
Yes.
Third arrest. She got an open battery in state court. It's 23 CR 007487C. 2019 sale of marijuana conviction. I'm not sure who the victim is.
The victim is the victim in this case.
Okay.
Same victim. Okay.
Same victim. Brief facts of the case is on March 20th, 2024, the defendant and the victim, I'm referring to the defendant as the defendant in this case, and the victim is the victim, Soho, got into a verbal altercation over the use of their vehicle. The defendant and the victim argument turned to from verbal to a physical one, where they both hit each other. The defendant admitted to picking up a glass bottle and striking the victim in his head with it. Officers were called out to the residence multiple times for fights related to the incidences. The victim advised that the defendant had been drinking alcohol immediately prior to this incident. Your Honor, given the presence of the open 2022 case with the same victim, Your Honor, the state's request is a $5,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim in this case, to stay away from the incident location, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. And I'd just like to point out that the use of that glass weapon is potentially an aggravated assault. Nothing further to add from the state.
All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client has a no objection to stay away and no further contact, Your Honor. And she is only 23 years old, and she's a full-time student at Georgia State University, third grade, junior. And she is studying the business management for bachelor's degree, Your Honor. And the place 3223 Chestnut Drive is actually her address, and she plans to evict Mr. Soho if he does not move out voluntarily. And my client, her name is on the list, and her name only is on the list. And they do not have, I believe there's one child they have together. She's a 2 years old girl, and he needs to pay for child support. Anyway, we don't mind about third-party transfer for his visitation for the children. And we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 2. And she is not, she does not have much of income as of now. Thank you.
All right, defendant's gonna receive a $1,500 surety bond. She's to have no further violent contact with the cross defendant, have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. And I'm not gonna require to stay away based upon the information that it is her home, and that he will be the one who will be stay away from that location.
No, she is the same victim in the other case. So I just wanted to point that out again for the no further violent contact aspect.
They also share a child, the pair of almost.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking about the fact they both were arrested for this incident. What was the that case is open? What was the requirements for contact on that case? Does anyone know?
I do believe the information wasn't put in the system. I don't think the information was put in the system. I can double check.
Okay. Because if that case had no contact, that's gonna take precedent anyway. So we'll figure that part out. But she's getting a $1,500 surety bond. And I'm not gonna order her to stay away from that location. And based upon what we find in that other case, we will, if we find anything, we may revisit what the contact provision is. All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Whitlock. That concludes your case. Can we do Mr. Soho?
Mr. Soho? Yes, he is position number
16.
16.
Okay, Mr. Soho, your case is 24 CR 001343C. You're charged with battery, family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Fifth adult arrest. Last was 2023 probation. Got an open battery out of state court as well. Open simple battery as well. On probation and fed for ag assault. I gave him 15 years probation in 2020. 2022, 2023 probation violation arrests.
Okay.
Your Honor, the facts don't deviate substantially, but I will notate that he's alleged to have caused scrapes to her left side, I guess, and because he threw a vacuum at her, and I do believe that there was another injury, which is swelling as well.
Okay. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is also 23 years old, and he and the person that you just had on, they actually share a child together. They have a 2-year-old child. My client tells me that they do not actually live together, although they spend a lot of time together because, of course, they have a child together. So he has a separate address. There's no need for her to move. I just wanted to put that on the record.
And the recommendation from the state as it relates to this case is a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We just heard that he can stay away. We would still recommend no contact in the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state.
Okay, and we don't have any information about what the contact was from that prior case yet?
So it was a weird situation where nothing was entered into the system. So I can't see anything. Maybe someone else can see on
Was
there.
that when was the date of arrest?
What's the case number?
It might have been when Odyssey was down.
I can
know it's
shed some light on that.
It's 23 CR 007-487C.
Oh, if the computers were down then we might not find it anyway. But
I don't think
It's down for 23 CR, yeah.
I don't think that the computers were done, but my client tells me that the arrest took place in Union City and there were no conditions on the bond, which is unusual. But that was what he told me.
Put the case number in the chat for me, please.
A citation.
Will do.
I checked. I didn't see anything as to the limited way in which I was able to check, of course, because access is a little bit different. Now, I did not see anything, but I did ask my client about that.
Yes, I was limited as well, surprisingly. But I'll put it in the chat.
But I think they do. We acknowledge that there are the open cases, but they do share a child. So some kind of provision has got to be made for that. And there are cross defendants in both of the cases. The arrests were dual situation, both times.
They still seem like they might need some breathing room. Doesn't seem like we're doing too well at this, getting along, Ms. McLeod.
I understand your
but I am curious to see what it was.
Excuse me.
I don't know who that is.
Mrs. Soho, DeMontavious mother, but I could.
No, ma'am. No, thank you. Not right now. This is a bond hearing, and he is entitled to a bond today. If you have concerns or things that you would like to address, there is a victim witness advocate that you can speak to at the solicitor's office, okay? And that may sound harsh, but this is not the appropriate forum. All right.
It looks as though it may have been a bond over, and I can't remember what
Didn't happen. You know what? Just out of an abundance of caution, it does seem like there are other parties who may be able to assist with this transfer of the child. So what we're going to do is we're going to do no contact for now. Again, it can be revisited as state all purpose. So both bonds will be modified to have no contact with each other. They can use a third party, perhaps his mother, to transport the child back and forth. He is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond as well. No contact. He is going to stay away from her address and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care, Ms. McLeod. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next?
Mrs. Moon, I'm not sure of her position.
11.
11.
Okay. All right. Ms. Moon, your case is 24 CR 001340J. Excuse me. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand your rights? I'm assuming that's a yes.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, Mr. Howard.
19 total. Got an open case in Superior Court for harassing communications and unlawful eavesdropping and another charge. Burglary, trespass, damage to property. So that's two open cases in Superior Court. 2021 probation, 2017 criminal receipt of goods, and the 08 simple battery DV NOLO.
Okay.
She hate to come behind, Mr. Howard like this, but there's 3 open cases. 2021 with the special charges that he referred to, the 2023 burglary, first degree criminal trespass, And the last one is 2024, possession of controlled substance, drugs not in original container, 24 PI 002-033. But brief facts of the case is that on January 30th, 2024, the officer responded to a call at 499 Northside Circle, apartment 512, regarding a dispute. The victim stated that he currently has a court order criminal trespass against his ex-girlfriend, who happens to be the defendant, but he invited her to stay at his apartment for a few days because she no longer had a place to go. The victim stated that he and the defendant got into a verbal dispute that turned physical. The victim stated that the defendant pulled his hair. The victim sustained multiple scratches on his neck from the defendants attacking him. The victim stated that the defendant struck him about the body, resulting in the visible scratches to his body. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim. He states that they're no longer in a relationship. They do not live together and they share no children together. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant and states he stated that he's okay with contact with her. And he states that he no longer lives at the incident location. I don't believe that he's on the call, but if we could sound for him in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. The recommendation, given the nature of the 3 open cases in Superior Court, is a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a no further violent contact, I guess, in this matter, and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state. And if we can just sound for Mr. Louise, Louis, Times, Tymes, in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Right, is Mr. Times present and wish to make a statement? Okay, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 33 years old. She is the mother of 2 minor children. She's lived in Georgia for 21 years. She did graduate from Georgia State University with a bachelor's degree in journalism. She does deny the allegations. This allegedly occurred 2 months ago, January. As you heard, the complaining witness wouldn't mind having contact with her. I mean, we're fine with, of course, a stay away, but I guess he's not there anymore and no further contact. The warrant states that the complaining witness stated he did not want to pursue charges. She does deny the allegations and states the complaining witness was the first aggressor and that she's the one who called the police. I understand there's some history, Your Honor, but the open cases, I mean, she's presumed to be innocent of those. What I heard was harassing communications, eavesdropping, nothing violent. She had, I guess, the simple battery NOLO in 2008. That was a long time ago. As far as what I saw in the pretrial report, she has no misdemeanor convictions and no felony convictions. I would ask, and she does state that she is gainfully employed as a cashier at JR Crickets, and she has been for several months now. She understands her obligation to return to the court. I don't believe she's a danger to the public, Your Honor. I would ask for a signature bond in this case. She can't afford to pay a bond at this time.
Okay, defendant is gonna receive a $6,000 signature bond level 2 through pretrial. She's gonna take the 1-day anger awareness course. She's gonna have no contact with the alleged victim, last name Times, and stay away from that location. And she also is to have no alcohol, no drugs, or no weapons. Is she alleging that she needs an escort back to get any items?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So best of luck to you, ma'am. That concludes your case. Anything additional from state or defense?
Nothing further.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Are we ready for the interpreter case?
Yes. That would be position number 17. Mr. Terrell.
All right. And we're interpreting the entire thing for the benefit of the victim. All right, sir. I'm sorry, he's position 17?
17, yes.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Torres. Your case is 24 CR 001345D, in which you're charged with simple battery.
Buenas tardes, señor Torres. Su caso 24 CR 00134T y con un cargo de golpes y lesiones simples.
Do you understand your rights today?
¿Usted entiende sus derechos hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
Señor Howard, por favor, los antecedentes.
All right, 6 total, 2023 FTA. Has an open battery DV out of state court. It's 23 CR 005 572A. 2019 driving without a valid license, not prosecuted. 2016 and 17 driving without a valid license, conviction.
Tenemos 6 ciclos, los últimos en el 2023 por una falta de comparecencia en el 2005, otra también es convicción en el 2019, manejar sin licencia, pero no fue procesado. Y en el 2017, otro cargo de manejar sin licencia y hubo una sentencia.
Brief facts of the case is that on February 23, 2024, the officer responded to 2265 Perry Boulevard, Northwest, apartment 79 for a dispute.
En el día 23 de febrero del 2024, los oficiales respondieron y a la llamada del 2265 Perry Boulevard, Northwest, y el número de la unidad es 79.
The victim stated her husband, the defendant, came home and was intoxicated, and he and her argued, and he grabbed her hair and pulled.
La víctima indicó que su esposo había llegado a la casa intoxicado, tuvieron una pelea y él le tiró del cabello.
The victim stated that this is an ongoing problem when he gets intoxicated.
Y la víctima agregó que este es un problema continuo que sucede cuando se intoxica.
The two are married and live together.
Los dos están casados y viven juntos.
Our office was fortunate enough to get in contact with the victim, Tania, Tania Cortez, Cortes.
El oficial de policía pudo contactarse con la víctima, Tania Cortés.
She confirmed that they are in a relationship. She stated that they are not married.
Ella confirmó que están en una relación, pero que no están casados.
They live together at the incident location and share 2 children.
Ellos viven juntos en el domicilio indicado y tienen 2 hijos juntos.
She confirmed the events in the warrant and stated that this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her and not the first time he has been arrested.
Ella confirmó que esta es no la primera vez que ha sucedido y no es tampoco la primera vez que ha sido encarcelado.
The victim stated that she fears the defendant when he drinks.
La víctima declaró que ella le teme al acusado cuando él bebe alcohol.
She stated that they have been living together since the incident, and the defendant has continued to be violent with her.
La víctima declaró que ellos han han continuado viviendo juntos y el acusado ha continuado con la violencia en el hogar.
The victim stated that she does not wish to have contact with the defendant, and she does not wish for him to return back to the residence.
La víctima declaró que ella no quiere tener contacto con el acusado, ni tampoco quiere que el acusado regrese a la casa.
The state's position is that he has the same charge out of 2023, simple battery family violence, and the recommendation is $1,000 surety bond.
El acusado tiene el mismo cargo de que obtuvo en el 2023, que es golpes y lesiones simples, y se pide una fianza de $1,000 bajo garantía.
No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course.
Y también se solicita que se prohíba el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza, que se mantenga distanciado del domicilio antes mencionado, no tener ningún contacto alguno con la víctima y que tome una clase de educación del manejo de la ira.
If we could sound for the victim in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, but there's nothing further from the state at this time.
No hay nada más de la fiscalía, si por favor podemos llamar a la víctima. Señora Tania Cortés, ¿está presente?
One question, is she the same victim in that open case?
¿Es la misma víctima que está en el caso abierto?
I looked it up and no, she is not.
She's
No,
not.
no lo vi y lo he buscado.
All right, we're sounding for that young lady. If you'd like to make a statement, please turn on your camera and raise your right hand.
Por favor, si quiere dar una declaración, prenda su cámara, Tania Cortés, y levante su mano derecha.
Is that her under burials? Oh, all right. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Jura que todo lo que dirá será la verdad y nada más que la verdad bajo pena de perjurio.
Sí, lo juro.
I do.
All right. What would you like to tell me at this time? You can put your hand down.
Usted puede bajar su mano. ¿Qué quisiera decirme en este momento?
Pues la verdad que solo nomás el que se haga cargo nomás de sus hijos y que cambie, porque ya no podemos estar en esta situación ya.
I just want to say for him to be responsible for his children and to change, because we cannot live in this same situation anymore.
Do you wish to have contact with him and for him to return to your home?
¿Usted quiere tener contacto con él y que él regrese a su casa?
No, no quiero. No quiero tener contacto.
I don't want to have contact.
All right. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Le
I have
agradezco que venga y que dé declaración.
I believe I put the wrong case number in the system. I'm not sure if she's the same victim. It's a different defendant in that case.
Okay.
Oh, es un diferente acusado en este caso. Creo que no es la misma víctima.
Can we
All right.
ask her if she's the same victim in the other case?
¿Es ella la misma víctima del otro caso que usted tiene él? ¿Usted es la misma víctima?
Sí, soy yo la.
Yes, I am the same.
Okay. All right, Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Torres is 39 years old.
I'm sorry, 39.
39 years old, and he's been here in Georgia for the last 22 years.
El señor Torres tiene 39 años y ha estado por 22 años en Georgia.
And actually, they do share 3 children.
Y en realidad ellos comparten 3 hijos.
And Your Honor, he's gainfully employed at body shop, luxury body shop, doing the details.
Él trabaja, tiene en un taller de autos en donde limpian en detalle.
And he is sole provider for Ms. Tanwa Cortez and 4 children, including the one without her. There was another child, not hers.
Su señoría, mi cliente es el único proveedor financiero de la familia para la señora Tania Cortés y para los 3 hijos que tienen juntos y el que no tiene junto con ella. Hay 4 niños en total.
He thought they have been doing well after the incident that happened on February, and he thought he was going to be able to come back home. Since he has no other place to go.
Él me dijo que han dado bien después del incidente que ocurrió y él pensó que iba a poder regresar a su casa.
However,
no tiene, I'm sorry, no tiene otro lugar donde ir. Thank you, ma'am.
However, we have no objection to stay away and no further contact to comply with complaint witnesses' wishes.
Sin embargo, no objetamos el que se mantenga distanciado de la casa y no tener más contacto con la familia.
He would like to return back to work so that way he can be responsible for those children financially.
Él quisiera volver a trabajar para poder hacerse a cargo de los niños financieramente.
We would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial, even though it may be level 3. Thank you.
Queremos pedir una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio, aun cuando él podría cumplir los requisitos para hacer un caso de nivel 3.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond.
How much, Your Honor? Excuse me.
$1,500.
El acusado recibirá una fianza bajo firma de $1,500.
Needs to have no contact with the alleged victim.
Por favor, no tenga contacto con la víctima alegada.
He can arrange transport of his children by coordinating with a third party.
Él puede hacer arreglos con una tercera persona para transportar los niños para la visita.
He is to stay away from that incident location. He can return one time with law enforcement to get any of his items.
Él debe mantenerse alejado del domicilio de la residencia. Puede regresar una sola vez con un oficial de la policía para buscar sus pertenencias.
Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition.
Adicionalmente, queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas como condición. Your Honor, I'm sorry, was the bond signature bond through pre-trial or
It's a surety bond.
It's a surety. All right. Quisiera corregir, señor. La fianza es bajo garantía de $1,500. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
¿Hay algo más de parte de la defensa o la fiscalía?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nada más. Nada más.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes her case.
Buena suerte,
Your
señor.
case.
Esto concluye su caso.
All right,
May the
All
interpreter
right,
be
Miss,
dismissed, Your Honor?
will you sound Miss Chancey before you go?
Yes, ma'am. Por favor, prenda su cámara o avísenos si necesita que le ayude un intérprete en español para hablar con la señora jueza.
All right. Hearing none, Miss Chancey, take care. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Your Honor, before we continue, position number 4, their bond was paid too.
Okay, so 4 has made bond and is released.
Yes.
Okay.
We can continue with position number 1, Mr. Allen.
Okay. Miss Allen, your case is 24 CR 001359F. You're charged with hit and run, speeding, failure to obey signs, 2 counts, driving on the wrong side of the road, improper passing, obscure license plate, eluding a police officer, and reckless driving. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Fifth arrest, 2021, open case for criminal possession of stolen property out of New York City. 2019, no license. Criminal possession of stolen property. 2020, fugitive from justice. 2020, hit and run, dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the Capitol Police observed a black Mazda SUV on Memorial Drive, driving with a cardboard cutout that said tags applied for. They initiated a traffic stop. Initially, the defendant pulled over. Eventually, he did pull off. He drove through several red lights and took the law enforcement officer on a several-mile chase. He was clocked at one point doing 65 and then 35. He actually hit another vehicle, kept on going, drove through more red lights, abandoned the vehicle, and got out on foot, and a foot chase ensued, and he was detained. And it was also determined that he had a teenage passenger in the vehicle with him. To the count of hit and run, we are asking for a $2,000 surety bond. to the speeding, which was the 65 and 35, we're asking for $1,000 surety bond. To the failure to obey signs or control devices, which is count 3, we're asking for $1,000 surety bond. For count 4, failure to obey sign, on that particular count, we'll ask for a SOB through the jail. For the driving on the wrong side of the street, we're asking for $1,000 surety bond. For the improper passing, another $1,000 surety bond. For the obscured or missing license plate, a $500 surety bond. For the fleeing, we are asking for a $2,000 surety bond. And for the reckless driving, we are asking for a SOB through the jail. We are asking for no driving at all, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. And you wanted the SOB for the reckless? I'm just being.
Well, I
making
think
sure.
the reckless and the fleeing may
Same, okay.
be the same. And let me be clear, this is a felony because he was doing more than 20 miles per hour over the speed limit while fleeing. I have submitted to the DA's office. I'm waiting for a response, but per the statute, this is a felony fleeing.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cook, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client has lived in the Atlanta area for 10 years. He has his own construction business that he's run for 15 years. He's responsible and the sole support for three of his children and then 2 stepkids, in addition to those folks that work for him. So we would be asking, we don't have any issue with any conditions of bond, but we would be asking for signature only bonds at whatever level that the court deems appropriate.
Okay, give me one moment. All right, on the, I'm gonna give it as follows. For count 1, defendant is gonna receive a $500 surety bond. For count 2, he's gonna receive a $500 surety bond. For count 3, he's going to receive a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Count 4, he's gonna receive a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Count 5, same, 1,000 SOB through the jail. Count 6, he's going to receive 1,000 SOB through the jail. Count 7, he's going to receive a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Count 8, he's going to receive a $500 surety bond. And count 9, he's going to receive a $500 surety bond. So he should have to make bond for 2,000. The remainder will be signature bonds through the jail. And he is to not drive as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Casey, how much is SOB jail?
7.
Wait, I just wanted to make sure I had it right too. First 2 are 500, good. 1.
Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got to make 5,000 signature. The first 2 are 500 good, so that should be 1,000 surety. The last 2 are 500 good, so that's 1,000 there. So 2,000 in surety on the first 2 count and last 2 count. Remaining SOB, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 is through the jail. Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right, is there anything additional?
So my student will be it's not we're looking to take those. No, okay, that's the wrong. Yes.
There was no drug, alcohol, or weapons, just no driving, right?
No drugs, alcohol, weapons.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thanks.
Next, we have position number 3, Mr. Woodrum.
All right, sir. Your case is 24 CR 001352G. You're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
5th arrest. He had a DUI in his history that was dismissed. 2015 arrest from a fugitive arrest. That's it.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 5101 Santa Fe Parkway. when they met with the victim, Miss Raina Kasim, she advised that her fiance, that they lived together, they were in a verbal disagreement, he became violent and slapped her across the face. The officer did observe a visible injury on Miss Kasim's face. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, no weapons or alcohol while out on bond. I'm not sure if Ms. Kasim wishes to address the court, but I do believe that she is on the line.
I'm sorry, say the name one more time, Mr.
Raina Kasim is
All
with
right,
a
Ms.
Q.
Kasim, if you would like to make a statement, please turn on your camera and raise your right
Yes.
hand.
Yes,
You
Your
are
Honor,
not
1 second.
required.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get my camera on.
All right, you're muted, so unmute the screen.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, this is just you put your hand down. This is just a bond hearing today, which means that you will have further opportunities to discuss this matter. If you disagree with something that the state said, that's not what I'm most concerned with. I'm most concerned with your desires for contact or any concerns you have for your safety. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me today, Ms. Kasim?
Yes, he is my fiance and we do live together, and unfortunately we were drinking and mentally impaired. It was an accident. The neighbors called the police. He's not a violent man. He's never done anything to me, so I really don't want to put any orders that he cannot come back home.
All right. Thank you for coming to court and making that statement. Mr. Cook,
Thank
please
you.
proceed.
Your Honor, my client is a software developer. He's been so for 15 years. He's lived in the Metro Atlanta area for about 18 years. I would hope the court would consider strongly the wishes of Ms. Qasim. And we would be asking for a signature only bond with no restrictions on contact.
All right, defendant will receive an $8,000 signature bond through pretrial at level 1. He's to take the 1-day anger awareness course, and he's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim, and to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing else from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thank you.
All right, next we have position number 6, Mr. Collier.
All right, Mr. Collier, your case is 24 CR 001362Y. You're charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, can I have the history, Mr. Howard?
25 total. 2023 was the last theft by receiving, financial transaction, card theft, suspended license, possession of marijuana, identity theft, fraud, and battery family violence. On probation for battery family violence, simple battery family violence out of Clayton County. Got a 2015 battery DV NOLO and some probation violations in his history, and 1 parole from 2015.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Sean, let me just say at the outset that I do understand that he has a previous battery family violence conviction, which makes this a felony. It has to be submitted to the DA's office and will eventually be a felony. But for purposes of today, law enforcement was dispatched to the incident location. They met with the victim, Miss Jana Lee. She advised that her child's father, that they have 2 children together, they were in a verbal disagreement. They were at his location. He became violent and headbutted the victim in her forehead. The officer did observe a large knot on her forehead. Ms. Lee did state that they have a 2 and a 3-year-old, I believe, that was present for the incident, and that's the basis for cruelty to children. The state is asking for a $5,000 surety bond, a no contact with Miss Lee, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And of course, we would sign, I'm not sure if she's on here, but we would sign for Miss Deanjana Lee.
All right, Ms. Lee, if you are present and wish to make a statement, this is your opportunity. We need you to turn on your camera and raise your right hand. Okay. Hearing and seeing none, Mr. Cook?
One of my clients has lived in the Atlanta area for 32 years. I spoke briefly with Ms. Lee. I was expecting her to be on today. They have two children. They have two children together, and so there are four people in the household. He lives at 6425 Westbury Road, Riverdale Road, with his mother. I don't believe that is the incident location. We would have no problem with staying away from an address other than that, but we would like no further violent contact with the alleged victim.
So if he doesn't reside at that location, we would then ask for a stay away at 2135 Goppy Road.
That's the incident location?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Was there something, Mr. Cook?
No, that's fine. He can stay away.
All right, defendant is gonna receive a $2,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location. He's additionally to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. As a reminder, he will be reset to state all purpose on April the 9th. Is there anything additional?
This is for Collier, correct?
You're right. So I'm sorry, it's 2 counts.
Yeah.
2,000 count, 1,500 count on the cruelty.
Wait, 2,000 on battery file. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
You good, sir.
You okay? Next, we have position number 5, Mr. Clemens.
All right, Mr. Clemens, your case is 24 CR 001350J. You're charged with criminal trespass, disrupting a public school, and possession. You understand your rights?
Ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard, this
First
is
arrest.
first arrest. So we'll go to Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was called to Benjamin Mays High School located at 3450 Benjamin Mays, where they met with the school resource officer. It was determined that the student, well, he's not a student, I take that back. The defendant was at that location. He's not a student at that location. He actually came there trying to fight a student who attends that school. He was arrested on the charges that are on the calendar. For the count of criminal trespass, we are asking for a $500 surety bond for disrupting a school, a $1,000 surety bond for marijuana less than an ounce, a signature bond through the jail. We are asking for a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right. Mr. Cook?
We have no objection to the stay away from the incident location or the no alcohol, drugs, weapons. This is his first arrest. He would dispute the allegations as stated in the warrant. And we would be asking, given his circumstances, he's 17 years old, that he be given a signature only bond. At what level the court deems appropriate.
And Your Honor, the state is asking for a surety bond, but if the court sees fit for a signature bond, we would ask that it's through pretrial services with a curfew.
Okay.
And preferably to attend a school that's his school, not.
Does he have a co-signer, Mr. Cook, if I send it through pretrial?
There is
It's because if I make it go through pretrial because he's 17, he has to have a co-signer that's going to come get him out.
We have, I have his mother's name. We don't have a phone number for her. And so I haven't been able to verify that she would indeed co-sign. We have her address.
I am inclined to send it through pretrial. I know Mr. Howard is not gonna be thrilled, but is his mother likely to be that co-signer? Because what I don't want to do is put the person's name on there and then they're unable to come sign him out.
He's certain that she would be the co-signer. We'll just have to get a good phone number for her.
Okay.
Question.
Question.
Go through my investigators. They're pretty good at finding these numbers.
All right. One question. He came and was attempting to fight. Was
Another
there
student
actually
at
any?
the school. Yeah, he's not a
Right,
student.
right.
He got dropped off and tried to fight somebody. In the cafeteria.
Allegedly, but
I
no
mean,
fight
he
actually
was
ensued.
arrested at the school, so he was
Well,
protected by the school resource officer. They broke up the altercation, and he was being
okay, but the
escorted out.
altercation did allegedly commence.
I don't
Okay.
think yeah, I don't
The
think
reason I'm asking, Ms. Walker, is I'm trying to ascertain whether any type of courses are appropriate in this situation.
well, I mean, if he's 17,
Okay.
I think he should be enrolled in a GED program or a school. We can start there. I mean, he's
Well,
17.
I'm not gonna require that yet at a bond hearing, even though I do believe that is a great idea.
We require those at bond hearings,
We
Judge.
do, but I'm not gonna do it today. Thank you. All right, not for these charges, if it was slightly different. Okay, in light of information before me, defendant is gonna receive a $9,000 signature bond through pretrial services, $3,000 on each count. Mr. Walker is surprised. He turns off his camera. He is going to, at level 1, he is going to, one question, the state, I guess because of the charges, the state can't ask for a no contact with that party, but I feel like that.
I didn't necessarily.
What was
The party is a juvenile, so I can put his initials.
right? The initials, yeah.
Yeah, I have the juvenile's initials. Just give it. You want me to put it in the chat to Miss Strong?
Yes, please. That's good. No contact, even though there's not necessarily a victim here, but the in light of the charges, no contact with that individual. He's gonna stay away from Benjamin E. Mays High School and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. I'm not gonna issue a curfew at this time, but
So
I am
he
gonna
gotta
send
go to
that through
school and he ain't
pretrial.
got to be at home in no time.
I understood, Mr. Walker, and appreciate. But this again, I lay at the feet of the state. I have a criminal trespass, and you know, I don't have the charges here that would give it a little bit more teeth that to do the things that you're
Disrupting
suggesting.
a public school.
I mean, you didn't give me that. There's no affray. I don't have any fighting here.
He came here to.
I'm going with the charges as presented. So in light of the charges as presented to me, which don't indicate he was fighting or that he was actually smoking this marijuana, I got nothing here other than he showed up and was a problem. So in light of those charges, I'm not going to do the curfew. I'm not going to require the school, even though I do think that that is a great idea for you, Mr. Clemens. You should consider being enrolled in the GED. I'm giving you a second chance with this signature bond. Okay, please do the right things. And what is the name of your mother for the co-signer? What is his mother's name?
Lalinda Clemens?
Nah, Lyman is Stallworth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lalinda Stallworth. Linda Clemens, same last name, Clemons.
Okay, so I don't, Mr. Cook, I can't understand what you're saying. So is somebody able to put it in the chat? Or are you able to
I
speak
can
slower?
put the name in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I believe we've thoroughly addressed that case. Best of luck to you, Mr. Clemens. And if the state was, you didn't tell me it was Friday, Mr. Walker. So maybe we need to look at these accusations. All right. Who do we have next?
Next we have position number 12, Mr. Osborne.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
you found the initials?
Once. Okay.
All right, Mr. Osborne, your case is 24 CR 001341D. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have that history?
6 total. 09 driving. 08 FTA. It's another one.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
This is not my case. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just were looking. Like you
Brief
want to
fact.
talk to me, Mr. Pierre Thomas, please proceed.
Brief facts of the case, Your Honor, is that on March 21st, 2024, the officer was dispatched to 9 Burbank Drive, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia, for a disturbance call. The caller / the victim stated that her husband, the defendant, came to the home highly intoxicated, asked about the whereabouts of his food. The victim stated the defendant became irate and began to get in her face. The victim stated that she tried to get the defendant to get back, and he began to grab and twist her left arm and twist her arm behind her head. The victim stated that he twisted her arm back until it almost popped. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim. The victim is Janet, Janet Osborne, same name as the defendant. She advised that they are married. They live together at the incident location, though they share no children. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She states that the defendant gets violent when he drinks. She stated that the defendant needs help with that alcohol issue. She stated that this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her, and it's not the first time that she has had to call the police, but it is the first time that he was actually arrested for violence against her. She states that she is not in fear of the defendant and that she's okay with contact. She states she's okay with the defendant returning to the residence as well. She is unable to attend the Zoom, but if we could sound from Ms. Osborne in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. The recommendation from the state in the matter was a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no violent contact with the victim, the completion of a family violence intervention program, and the completion of an alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment as necessary. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right, I am gonna sound for Ms. Osborne. Are you present? Okay, I don't see her on the Zoom. So Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 48 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed at Broad Branch Logistics, and he's been working in that line of business steadily for the last 20 years. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. The complaining witness, his wife of almost 15 years, I was able to speak with her, and she states that she does want contact with her husband and does want him to return to the home. He doesn't have any violent criminal history. His last arrest was 15 years ago. I heard from pretrial of something in 2009, and it was a traffic offense. Due to, his age, he's 48. He has very limited criminal history, no violent history. I would object to the family violence intervention program and the alcohol and drug evaluation. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail or through pretrial services if Your Honor is inclined to. I feel at the most a one-day anger awareness and no violent contact with the complaining witness. Nothing further.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. He's to take the one-day anger awareness course and have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. What do we have next?
Thank you. Next, we have position number 8, Mr. Gadsden.
All right, Mr. Gadsden, your case is 24 CR 00136. I'm sorry. 24 CR 00160E. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass, obstruction, and simple assault. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr.
Who is
Howard.
this?
Position 8.
$11 total. Probation out of DeKalb County, burglary 2nd degree, 5 counts. Criminal attempt to commit a felony. Terroristic threats as well. What else we got? 2022 probation, 2021 probation, and 2015 burglary first offender. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred at the Peachtree Center MARTA station. MARTA PD did attempt to detain the defendant because he had earlier that day received a criminal trespass warning from that location or MARTA in general. He was still at the location when they went to detain the defendant. He attempted to push them and actually pulled out a switchblade and told the officer that he was going to kill him. I understand that this is an aggravated assault. We have sent it to the DA's office and we are awaiting a response. To the count of criminal trespass, we are asking for $1,000 surety bond. To the count of obstruction, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond. And to the simple assault, which is the act of the defendant pulling out a switchblade and telling the officer that he was going to kill him, we are asking for an $8,000 surety bond. Of course, we are asking for a stay away from all MARTA, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 31 years old. He has lived in Georgia for 13 years. He states that he does have friends and family in Georgia. He has a good mailing address. He has been struggling with homelessness for about a year. He was formerly employed working in restaurants and warehouse jobs. Although he has the family and friend support and an address that he uses for mail, he's been trying to make it on his own. He does deny the allegations and states that the MARTA officer immediately drew his weapon and he was scared. I understand that he does have some criminal history, but his last arrest was in 2022. And I would ask, I mean, the surety bond, any surety bond is more than what he could afford. And I would ask for a signature bond, pretrial services. He's not a flight risk. He does deny the allegations in the warrant here. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. Stay away from MARTA, Your Honor, nothing further.
The defendant's going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, $500 on each count. He is to stay away from MARTA, have no alcohol, no drugs and weapons. His case will be reset to state all purpose whereby it can be revisited. All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 13, Mr. Permitti.
All right, Mr. Permitti, your case is 24 CR 001342E. You're charged with simple assault, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, I have it. This is first arrest. So, Mr. Pierre Thomas, please proceed.
One moment, Your Honor.
That's correct, Mr. Hart, right? First arrest?
Yeah. I do believe so. The allegation is that he placed the victim in this case. Let me pull up the victim in this case is first name Mani, last name Ponnaganti, in fear when he threw trash across a room, lifted a table, threw clothes across a room, was yelling at her, swearing at her, and banging on a locked door, which placed her in reasonable apprehension of immediate violence. This is my understanding from the warrant. This is not the first time incidents like this have happened. And that's part of the reason why she, I guess, fled to a locked door, fled behind a locked door to protect herself. The recommendation from the state in this matter, because it is his first arrest in the nature of the charge, is the signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the incident location of 512 Granville Court, Sandy Springs in Fulton County, Georgia. A no contact and the completion of an anger awareness course. Our office was not able to get in contact with the victim, but it appears that she is on. So if you could sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further to add from the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, if you would like to make a statement, please raise your right hand.
Hi, Your Honor. This is Nagmani Ponnaganti.
Wait, before you tell me anything, I have to place you under oath, okay? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Sorry, I'm new to states. I'm a bit difficult to understand your accent. Could you please?
Okay, yes, I will go. Do you promise to tell the truth today?
Sure.
All right. Go ahead. What would you like to tell me?
Sometimes he yell at me when he gets stressed about his his work and all. I don't know the reason, but other than that time, he'll be very nice to me. So could you please send my husband back?
You want him to come home?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No. Sometimes, when he yelled, definitely I'll scary. Other than that, he's very gentle and nice to me. So I just want him back.
Okay, thank you for coming to court.
Thank you so
Mrs. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 34 years old. He has lived in Georgia for over 1 year. He did receive a master's degree from Texas A&M University. He's gainfully employed as a software developer. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, although the warrant states that a neighbor called 911. As you heard, the complaining witness states that she does want contact with her husband. I would object to the stay away. They've been married for 2.5 years, and the complaining witness does want him to return home. I would ask for no violent contact, and due to the fact that he has no criminal history, and the complaining witness, has stated that at the most there's been verbal altercations. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. Nothing further.
All right, defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have position number 9, Mr. High.
Mr. High, your case is 24 CR 001338C. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
33 total. 2017 battery, hindering person from making emergency call. Theft by taking out of Sumter County. 2016 trespass conviction. 2014 sale of marijuana. 2008 obstruction, disorderly conduct, trespass.
And
All
this,
right, Mr. Walker.
yes, Your Honor, in this case, law enforcement dispatched 942 Hank Aaron Drive, where they met with the victim, Ms. Jamisa Geeter. She advised that she was at home with her son and also with her father in the home. Her father was playing music loudly, I believe, from a Bluetooth speaker. She asked him to turn it down. He declined. At that point, she took his speaker. And at that point, he struck her in the face. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a no contact with Ms. Geeter, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons or alcohol while on bond, and we are asking for a 1-day anger awareness course.
All right, I do want to sound for her. I'm sorry, the name again?
Jamisa Geeter.
I saw her earlier. Miss Geeter, if you'd like to make a statement and are in Zoom, please turn on your camera. I don't see her anymore. Okay. All right, Mrs. Ty, I did sound for her.
Your Honor, my client is 49 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed at Stanley Concrete. He does deny the allegations. He states that this is his home, and the complaining witness has been staying there for a few weeks because she had nowhere else to go. So he allowed her to come stay with him and his girlfriend. The warrant reflects what my client states, that she was the first aggressor, grabbing the speaker from him. He denies any physical contact at all. In addition, the warrant states, the last sentence says, as the officer was speaking with the complaining witness, multiple times her story changed regarding how Mr. Hyde struck her. So, Your Honor, he does deny the allegations. The warrant puts the allegations into question itself. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I object to a stay away because this is his home, Your Honor. He just allowed his daughter to stay there temporarily. I was able to get in touch with the other person on the lease at the home, my client's girlfriend, and she stated as well that the complaining witness does not live there. I would ask, I'm fine with no further contact, although it is his daughter. But I would object to the stay away because it's his home. And I object to the 1-day anger awareness. I don't think it's necessary in light of the allegations in the warrant.
Okay,
His
yeah.
daughter is alleged to live there.
Yeah, well, we made contact. Well, she was online earlier, but she's not
She
here.
was.
Our victim advocate did make contact with the victim, his daughter. She advised that she does, in fact, live at that location. She is requesting a stay away and no contact. She said that this is not the first time he's been violent towards her. She said that this is actually the second time in that day that she had to call law enforcement on her father. So she does have concern about her safety. And we all know whether your name is on a lease or not, if you invite somebody to your home after they live there, they become a tenant at will, and that is her legal residence. So she is fearful, and she does not want him to return, and that is her address.
My client states that she has not been living there for a month, Your Honor.
She stated
So
that.
what we're gonna do? Say that again, Mr. Walker.
She
You
stated that is in
cut out on me.
fact her residence.
Okay.
And Your Honor, sorry, if I could just point out one more thing. I understand there is some history, but the latest thing was over 7 years ago.
Okay. All right, defendant is gonna receive a $1,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. I am gonna order that he stay away if the alleged victim resides at that location. We're gonna make that determination by returning one time with a member of law enforcement. If the victim is still residing there, he must stay away. If she has vacated, he can return. Otherwise, he should collect his belongings and stay away. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons as a condition of that surety bond. And as a reminder, he will be reset to state our purpose on April the 9th. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 15, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, your case is 24 CR 001344C. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
All right. Can I have the history, please?
12 total. 2021 terrorist threats conviction. 2018 ag stalking dismissed. Couple of trespass from 2017. 2016 ag assault conviction. 2009 battery DV dismissed.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on Monday, February 19, 2024, the officers were dispatched to 2500 Center Street in response to a domestic call that is in Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. The 911 caller stated that the defendant, she called the police because she was involved in a physical dispute with her longtime boyfriend, the defendant. The victim stated that the incident started over an argument while both parties were inside the apartment. At some point during the argument, the defendant slapped her in the face twice. After she was slapped, the defendant fled the scene. Our office was fortunate enough to get in contact with the victim. In this case, the victim is Vicky Smith. And dare I say, she's also the victim in the terroristic threats and acts conviction where he received 12 months probation. He would actively still be on probation. And the allegation in that case is that he told her he was going to beat her ass. And I guess he did whatever today. But in any event, the victim stated that they're not currently living together. They share no children together. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant. She states that this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her. She states that the defendant has the previous case, 18 CP 7173255, and the 21 CR 005101E. The victim stated that she is not in fear of the defendant and she wants continued contact, and she's okay with the defendant returning. She states that she does not wish to attend the Zoom, but if we could sign for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. The state is seriously concerned for the health and welfare of the victim in this case, is seriously concerned about the defendant's inability to not pick up additional charges. The state is seriously concerned about his violent history, the 2016 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, the 2018 aggravated stalking, And the other case, the 2021 terroristic threats with the same victim. So the request from the state is a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, to stay away from the incident location, the no contact with the victim, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
All right, is Ms. Smith present on this Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Smith, is 54 years old, Your Honor, and apparently they have not married, but they have been living together, being a boyfriend, girlfriend, 23 years. However, as of now, they do not reside together and they don't have any children. My client is completely okay with no further contact and stay away from her as long as he can get signature on bond. He will be residing with his mother and he is working only as a part-time and he is 54 years old. So we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial level 3. Thank you.
Right, defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim. He is to stay away from that incident location and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Next, we have position number 18, Mr. Turner.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, your case is 24 CR 001346A. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is first arrest, so Mr. Peter Thomas, please proceed.
Okay, Your Honor. A brief facts of the case, Your Honor, is that on March 3rd, 2024, the officer responded to 429 Highland Avenue Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, in reference to a domestic dispute. The victim advised that she was forcefully thrown down to the ground during an altercation with the defendant. The victim advised that she has children with the defendant and was attempting to retrieve important documents pertaining to the children from the suspect's car, from the defendant's car. A brief scuffle took place for the document for which the victim was able to grab from the defendant. The victim advised the suspect forcibly threw her to the ground, leaving red marks on her right arm. The victim also sustained a broken blood vessel to her left eyeball. The victim also advised that she was 15 weeks pregnant at the time of the incident. The victim, fortunately enough, our office was able to get in contact with the victim. The victim's name is Maya, M-Y-A-H, Massey, Massey. She states that they are working on their relationship. They do not live together. However, they do share that child together and have one on the way. The incident location is the victim's mother's residence. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant and in the police report. The victim stated that nothing like this has ever happened before. The victim stated that the defendant has since apologized for the incident. She stated that there has been no violence since. She states that she is not in fear of the defendant and wants to continue contact. I do believe that she is on the call, so if we could sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor. Recommendation from the state, Your Honor, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state. And if we could sound for Ms. Massey in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated.
And it was Maya. What was the last name?
Massey, Massey.
All right, Miss Massey, if you are present, please turn the camera on. Oh, it's terrible echo. Please raise your right hand if you'd like to make a statement. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. What would you like to tell me? You can put your hand down.
Again, like he said, he did apologize since the incident occurred. We haven't had any violence since then. This isn't typically, behavior from him, but I do recommend some anger management. I don't recommend no contact because we do have a 2.5-year-old daughter and I am pregnant at the time. I'm 18 weeks pregnant right now. And so I'm still okay with contact, just not violent contact.
Do you have concerns for your safety?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. In general, do you have concerns for your safety?
No.
All right. Thank you for coming to court and making that statement. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Turner, is 21 years young. And his mother is here on the Zoom as well. He is not married, and they do have a 2-year-old child together. And since he feels responsible financially for his upcoming child, he was planning to go to a Coast Guard military service. And when he was getting a fitting to be admitted to military, he found out that there was outstanding warrant that he didn't know about for the last 20 days. And Your Honor, he has no objection to, even though he prefers to have a no for the violent contact, if it is necessary for him to get a signature on bond, he does not have any objection to no for the contact as long as he can see his children, Your Honor. And he is gainfully employed at UFIT gyms. He graduated from high school. He was a great athletic basketball player, and he is really wanting to go to military as soon as this gets all taken care of. Thank you.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial services. He's going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. That signature bond through pretrial is going to be at level 1. He is to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from the defense. Thank you.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All
What's the
right.
breakdown, Judge?
It was more than one charge? Hold on. I thought it was one.
It's battery, family violence, and then battery against a female who is pregnant.
Okay, does the state have some indication why is it 2 different counts? It's not, it was just her, correct?
Yeah, it was just
A battery against a female who is pregnant, I guess the element speaks for itself.
Well, I get it, but usually we don't see both charges. But okay. What we'll do is we're gonna modify it then. It's gonna be a $4,000 signature bond, 2,000 on each count. All right.
4,002. Oh, I was wondering if Mr. Brendan Thomas is willing to NOD the first BF.
I think he probably won't do it today, but it looks like that might be a duplication.
Okay.
So
Sure.
that we'll give him, he's getting a signature bond, and I'm sure we'll look into it further. But I did question why we have 2 different counts here. Let's ask that now. Mr. Walker or Mr. Thomas, why are there the 2 counts today instead of just one? Why don't we charge both?
They have separate elements, right? And
They do, but typically okay.
If you're, let me just say it like this. If he was positioned differently, right, where he had an extensive history, the state would be in a position to offer 12 months probation as opposed to just 12, 24 month probation as opposed to just 12 months or a greater sentence. And so I think it's aggravated at the point the legislature put it specifically in there to aggravate the charge. And so it's aggravated the moment you participate in the same crime against a female who is pregnant.
Okay. All right, understood. I just typically, when we've seen this before, we usually have selected one, but I do understand that there's a rationale here. We'll revisit that at a later date. $4,000 signature bond, and I believe that's the entire calendar. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
All right, Ms. Strong, will you review the calendar for me, please?
Sure. Position number 1 was a $6,000 split bond, 1,000 good, 5,000 through the signature bond through the jail. Position number 2 was release. Position number 3 was a $8,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position number 4 was release. Position number 5 was a $9,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 with a parental cosigner. Position number 6 was $2,500 good bond. Oops, give me a second. Okay. Position number 7 was a $6,000 signature bond through the jail. Position number 8 was a $1,500 good bond. Reset SAP April the 9th. Position number 9 was a $1,500 good bond. Reset SAP. I'm sorry. Did I say April the 9th for the first one? April the 9th. Position number 10 was a $9,000 signature bond through the jail. Position number 11 was a $6,000 SOB through pretrial level 2. Position number 12, $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 13, $5,000 signature bond through the jail. 14, $5,000 signature bond through the jail. 15, $1,000 surety, reset SAP April the 9th. Position number 16, $1,500 good bond, reset SAP 4/9. Position number 17, $1,500 good bond, reset SAP April the 9th. Position number 18 was a $4,000 SOB through pretrial level 1. 19, $5,000 signature bond through jail, and 20 was a $1,500 good bond, reset April the 9th SAP.
What was number 11 bond amount again?
6,000 pretrial level 2.
All right.
And
Any
I
other?
think it is April the 4th. I think one I said November the 4th on accident. But
November.
no,
It's April 9th. April
it's
9th.
April 9th. No, I'm looking at Mr. Jordan's email. April the 9th.
April 9th.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments, changes, corrections, otherwise?
Nope. See you tomorrow.
No need to point out that I'll be here tomorrow. All right, you all take care. Have a good rest of your evening. I'll see some of you all tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.
Hey, you saw the end of me for the extra work. I'm hopefully emailing you, yeah. I need to ask them to include me on the email. Oh. I just don't know what's. Wow.